looking at me. Dance balls hopping at the bartender asked me, say, son, what'll it be?
Good morning, everyone. An early happy July 4th to all of you who are tuning in to today's episode of Real Living in Nashville. Maybe 50% of you are in your cars going somewhere to your final destination, or maybe the other half of you are in office like me, trying to wrap some things up. Regardless, thank you for joining me and my co-host, Denise, who is going to pop into our room. So let me bring her in right now. Hello, Denise.
Good morning from Nashville.
Good morning from Nashville. How did you like my little intro there?
Did you see me dancing in the background?
I did too.
Those were great videos. I love the one of the bridge.
Yes.
And the Batman building in the background.
That's
I got
right.
to meet the architect of the Batman building the other day.
Did you? Wow.
It
And
was-
speaking of the bridge, most recently I got very familiar with it because, as I shared with you, once we got to know each other, my niece, Dr. Annie Apple, she got married at that bridge building.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So after, the wedding, after the reception, at that same time that evening, there was a Garth Brooks concert taking place
Oh, wow.
at the stadium. And guess what we had to do? We had to walk across the bridge because none of the Ubers could get to us as close as possible because of traffic routing.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
I was at that Garth Brooks concert
Were you?
on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. Was that a couple of years ago?
Couple of years ago, and it started to rain. Do you remember that?
Oh no, that wasn't the night I was there. No.
Okay.
It must have been. I must have been there Friday night because no, it did not rain. But yeah, there were some people that had some real issues with that rain. Yeah,
I know. So it rained on us as we were on the bridge trying to walk to the target destination where the Uber guy could pick us up. And so my wife and I, we were dressed to the nines, tuxedo, long dress. It was a mess.
drowned rats look like drowned rats, as my mother would say.
So all of that being said, how did you like that background music?
I liked it. I mean, it. I'm trying to think. Who was that singing? That was,
What's that?
who was that? Was that Waylon Jennings? Who was that?
No, it was a Boot Scootin' Boogie. Remember that?
But who sings that?
Shoot. Now that you asked me on the spot, I can't remember. It's those two guys within the past 10 years, they got kind of popular.
Brooks and Dunn?
Yes, there you go. Brooks and Dunn. Yes. By the way, I've never asked you this question. Do you line dance?
No.
No?
Don't dance.
You don't dance.
I don't dance. I don't dance. I shuffle.
Okay. Well, you have to start with a shuffle. I'll be honest.
I've been starting with the shuffle since I was about 12. So, we're not graduating much above that. But I mean, it's big time here. You can go to the Wild Horse. Well, it used to be there. And they have dance lessons all over Nashville for line things.
Yeah, I'm big into couples dancing, line dancing, ballroom dancing, swing dancing.
Oh, you like ballroom dancing?
Yeah, I love it.
There's an ophthalmologist here. His name is Ming Wang, and he is a world championship ballroom dancer.
Really?
And one of my most horrifying moments was being at a fundraiser.
Okay.
And I was talking to him just on the side. I had to introduce myself and was telling him we were talking about some things. And they said, and Dr. Wang will now take the dance floor. And he grabbed my hand. I've never been more mortified in my life. And it probably was the shortest dance he ever did because I was mortified. Anyway, so he laughs. He laughs. Now I know him, and he thinks that's pretty funny because he said, "You shouldn't have been so upset. I lead."
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's when it comes to couples dancing, it's all about the lead. So if you've got a partner that's a great lead, that's 70% of the success. How's that?
well, the 30% wasn't working very well for him. So anyway, so no, I don't dance. I don't dance.
So for today's episode, like we always do, Denise, in previous episodes, let's lead off with you sharing your expertise and your pearls of wisdom. What's going on with the real estate market in the Nashville metropolitan area? Can you kind of give us a background?
Sure. It's just as always that homes that are priced right. When you price your home right, you get offers within days.
Yeah, true.
If the condition is good and the price is right, the market tells you the price.
That's right.
The house has been on the market for 30, 60 days and you're not getting showings and you're not getting offers. It's price.
Yeah.
It's price. So we're seeing a lot of price adjustments because people still are thinking about 2020 and 2021, maybe 22.
Mm-hmm.
That prices are going up 10% a year. They're not. They're very level.
Yeah.
But you're not still seeing if market analysis says your property's worth 550, but you think let's try 6. That if you price it at 550, you'll get an offer. If you price it at 6, you may have to reduce it to 550 and then get an offer at 525.
That's
so
right.
Getting it right is so correct.
Yeah.
We're seeing a little uptick in showings in the last week.
Oh, really?
Maybe it's the holiday. There's also people who are moving for school, and this is, they're crunched.
Yeah.
I have a that reached out yesterday and said, "Can we close by the beginning of school?"
Yeah.
Yes, but should have been looking sooner.
True. Yeah.
So, you're seeing a little bit of that, and people on the holidays, some people go look at houses.
Yeah, why not?
Showings today on my listings.
Do you?
I have. So that's good. That's good. Right now I have 7 listings and
wow.
It's good. It's good, but not all of them are priced exactly where they should be. And we've had to make reductions and they're sitting on the market longer. So the sellers are now, understanding the thought process in the beginning, how we should have been priced more competitively.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Pricing a property correctly out of the get-go, once you are coming onto the market, is the key to success. And in my opinion, is this cuts across every price point, even the 7-figure upper bracket properties. Here in the Chicago area, we have a part of the suburban market. It's called the North Shore.
Yeah.
So relative to where you're at, it would be equivalent or parallel to like Brentwood, Franklin, and so forth, right? And so through some of our personal relationships, we've got some friends who are selling their North Shore home. And between you and me, I'll kind of whisper it. It's not priced right. They priced it at $5.2 million. It's sat on the market now for 30 something days. They've gotten a lot of looks. However, guess what? A lot of the looks from potential buyers have literally said, we need to drop another round of 7 figures just to renovate it. Think about that, right?
That's a lot of renovation.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of motivation. But the reality is the people who live in this North Shore suburb, they have that kind of money. But Denise, you and I know this because we're in the business. No one's going to overpay for something.
No, not well. Maybe they paid the market in 20 to 22.
True.
Overpaid. It's words.
Yeah.
But they paid the market of what they had to pay to get that house.
Right.
But one thing you said is that they're getting feedback.
Yeah.
I think that's so key.
Yeah.
Realtors that give feedback, I appreciate it more than they know.
Yeah.
Because it's someone else's words that I can share with clients.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be that the house was messy or it's overpriced. Wish we had a garage. My clients really want a garage. Those are the kind of things that are really key to helping us in improving the property, improving the price, or sometimes there's just a drawback. If there's not a garage, there's not a garage unless you can build a garage.
That's right.
So it's feedback, I think, is so important. And I appreciate agents that share that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you and I both know, you know, cosmetic stuff you can change.
Right.
You can change it instantly if you've got, you know, additional money in your wallet, or you can change it over time if it's not that critical, right? But you know, from the standpoint of like skeleton of the home, bones of the home, you can't always change that. So if it's not the right one, I agree with you. That feedback is important for you representing your sellers, because you need to communicate feedback to your sellers.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, with that said, with all of these listings that you have, I'd like to bring one up. I know this is a listing that you're working on right now. This cute, quaint cottage, as you described it, right?
It's a 1920s stone cottage. So
Okay.
it will be 100 years old next year. It was built.
We got a lot of those old properties up here. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's location. My open house Sunday had 45 people to come through. A lot of neighbors. Some people who had actually made offers on the house when we bought it, my client bought it back in 2022. They made offers sight unseen. So it was interesting how some people said, I just want to see what I made an offer on years ago. So it's a cute home. It's very small. Very small. It's 2 beds, 1 bath downstairs, and then upstairs on that picture to the right, you can see kind of a little arch. Above that is a staircase. And that is a 1 bed, 1 bath apartment that you see in the picture below it.
Okay.
And it's been rented out historically to Vanderbilt physicians. Residents, because it is very walkable to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And the upstairs apartment was perfect for people that wanted to study alone. Some people like to study as a group, some like to study alone.
Yeah.
And so it was perfect for that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, because as you know, we've talked about it. I shared this with you as we got to know each other. My niece, Dr. Annie Apple, she went to Vanderbilt U medical school.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was paramount. It was important for her to live close enough to where she was going every day, because you know, you either are on call, you got a schedule, you got to show up for. So having said that, I can see why this property appeals to maybe renting that second apartment out to, you know, physicians. Now, having said that, for today's conversation point, what you've described, you know, what I call, by the way, there's a term, maybe you've heard of it before. It's called house hacking. Okay. House hacking. So audience members, those of you watching, if you know what this term means, good for you. If you don't, well, we're about to drop some education for you. What is house hacking? So Denise, it's like this cottage that you're selling, which is a duplex. Another way of saying it's a 2-unit property, right? And the benefit for those of you who are either first-time buyers, you're a repeat buyer, but your personal needs have changed. House hacking allows you to do this: own the property and have a tenant subsidize your payment.
Yeah. I mean, what a great life, right? Somebody else can pay the bills.
Right. So it is a reality. I know for me up here in Chicago, especially very much in the city of Chicago, we've got a lot of these multi-units properties, from 2 units to 4 units. And So yeah, house hacking
Easy.
is a very common thing. Maybe that's going to be more common for you in the Nashville metro area as time goes forward.
Yeah, in that area, there is a little more of that, and a lot of people build ďaďus behind their
Okay.
house,
Yeah.
accessory dwelling unit.
Yeah.
And this house does have a really nice lot, so it would be easy to do that.
There
So
you go. There you go.
getting approvals. So
Yeah, there you go. And for those of you watching, let me drop the second part of what I call some education. Here is the secret. For those of you who want a house hack, first time buyer, wow, you're going to love this. You can do your house hacking buying a multi-unit property, a small apartment building. Get this, mic drop, 5% down payment minimum.
wow.
Wow, think about it.
5% is great. So what type of loan do you get with that? Is it conventional? Is it investment?
Yeah, it's a conventional loan. Within the past 12 months, the secondary market made some changes, some rule changes, where for these small apartment buildings, duplex, triplex, fourplex, you can get into it as a buyer with this minimum down payment. Now, having said that, third piece of education that I'm about to drop, you have to qualify for the loan amount, right?
That helps, doesn't it?
Exactly. So even though I just said the minimum down payment is 5%, that is, of course, the bare minimum. You can kick in a larger down payment because if you need that loan amount to be less so that things work with your cash flow, and of course, if the tenants are subsidizing your monthly payment investment, there's a balancing act there. So, but the key here is now that we're talking about this and you're selling this duplex, hey, it's education that benefits both of us.
So what is the true definition of a duplex?
A duplex is 2 units, 2 separate doors, and also 2 separate what we call mechanical systems, like electricity, for example, and heat, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a 2-unit duplex, 3-unit or a triplex, same drill, separate doors, separate entrance, exits, and that kind of stuff.
And does it matter with electric meters? Doesn't it have to be 2 electric meters as well?
Yeah, it has to be separated so that the tenant who is renting one of the units can control their personal use of utilities. So, yeah, great question. Great question. Let's now shift gears and talk about I think something that will be a reality for both of us. So let me bring up who I think is probably going to be the audience who will most undoubtedly engage us in a conversation about what is called bridge financing. Okay, so let's see who these people are. They are these wealthy baby boomers who may be looking to go to their next chapter, downsize, move out of state, certainly from a classic one, Denise, is move out of Illinois, snowy weather, to your better weather in Nashville, Tennessee.
We welcome all the people from the north and the east and the west.
Right. So with that, so why bridge financing? All right. Why bridge financing? It's because for those of you who are current property owners and you're starting your conversation with Denise, or your property owners, shame on you, who have not reached out to Denise yet. By the way, we'll help you change that very easily toward the end of today's episode. So stay tuned. But what does bridge financing do for you? It allows you to buy your next home without selling your current home. It bridges you to get from point A, where you don't want to be, to point B. And so for Denise, as a broker professional, it allows her helping you, seller and therefore buyer, write non-contingent offers. You don't have to be contingent on home sale. And so for today's episode, I just want to drop this as a backdrop so that we can at least make all of you aware, and Denise and I can be aware of how to have that conversation with you. Does that make sense, Denise?
Yes. I'm curious how long you can have a bridge loan too.
Oh, I can drop that answer. You can have a bridge loan, short-term financing for up to 12 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was 12 months.
Yeah. And that means for a rock star broker like you, if you can sell the home in 3 months or less, then even better. But you and I both know if it's a unique property, upper bracket, let's pick on, Brentwood, Tennessee, Franklin, Tennessee, a lot of acreage. Sometimes, you may need a little bit more time. So bridge financing can also help in that regard.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we wrap up today's episode of Real Living in Nashville, what plans do you have, Denise, tonight, tomorrow?
So I was, one of my clients is having, as he called it, a professional light show tonight, fireworks show tonight. So I'll go to his home. He lives in a kind of a compound. He was able to convince a family who had just family homes there. And each home has 10 to 12 acres. And there's a big lake and fences. It's beautiful. You just happen upon it driving down a road. But he invited me over to watch fireworks. But I also think I'm going to go to my parents and spend some time as my father ages. He's, I need to spend more time there. Yeah. But at 10 a.m. in the morning, the town of 100 people is having their July 4th parade. So if I stay here tonight, I'm going to get up really early because it's a 3-hour drive.
Okay.
So in Bolivar.
Yeah.
Actually, it's in Hickory Valley, close to Bolivar.
Yeah.
So because I think there's just nothing like small town USA on 4th of July. It'll be kids with their bikes, people pulling kids in wagons. I'm sure there's going to be a tractor. There is going to be a tractor, and there's going to be ATVs. Maybe we'll take a gator. Maybe we'll take the gator and go.
Yeah. That and what you just described verbally, I've got this visual of like it's those scenes in movies celebrating July 4th. So for all of you watching, or more. So for all of you watching us today, thank you for sharing your time with us. This week, short week, holiday week for you. And maybe many of you, 50% of you are already on holiday. And as I hinted at earlier, how can you start a conversation with Denise and or myself? It is so simple. All you have to do, audience members, is simply scan the QR codes that you see here. Denise and I will be ready, willing, and certainly able to start that conversation with you to help you get from where you are to really where you want to go. So as we wrap up, Denise,
happy 4th. I wore my red, and do you have on blue and white? Let's pretend.
No, I've got black and white.
Let's just say, let's pretend like it's a shade of blue.
Okay.
So red, white, and blue. If you look across the screen, happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Have a safe one. And as we end today's episode, please enjoy the fireworks. Here we go.
Be careful.
Yes.
That's pretty. Is that Nashville?
Enjoy the 4th, everyone.